again, I met with a lot of difficulties because I kept coming up with hits, and the A&R men and different people tied to these major companies were inclined to be a little bit envious.
Joe Meek was a pioneering figure in the music industry, renowned for his groundbreaking work as a producer and his innovative approach to recording techniques. Born April 5, 1929 in Gloucestershire, England, Meek's fascination with music began early on. He embarked on a career in sound engineering, working at various radio stations before establishing his own recording studio, RGM Sound, in North London. Meek quickly gained recognition for his unconventional methods, incorporating electronic effects and overdubbing to create distinctive avant-garde soundscapes. His studio became a creative hub for aspiring musicians, and he produced numerous hits, including Telstar by the Tornadoes. But despite his professional success, he faced personal struggles, grappling with discrimination and mental health issues. Facts First UK presents why Joe Meek took his own life at 37 years old. Joe Meek's life and career. Joe Meek's early years were marked by an insatiable curiosity and a knack for tinkering with gadgets. He often disassembled radios and other electronic devices, eager to understand their inner workings. This innate curiosity laid the foundation for his future endeavors as an audio engineer and producer. In his teen years, Meek's passion for music blossomed. He immersed himself in the vibrant local music scene, attending concerts and performances whenever possible. Inspired by the sounds of rock and roll and the emerging pop music of the 1950s, Meek began to experiment with recording equipment, using his family's tape recorder to capture his own musical creations and those of his friends. Meek's journey into the world of professional audio engineering began in the early 50s when he secured a job at the Midlands Electricity Board. Despite lacking formal training, his innate talent for understanding sound and technology quickly became apparent. He demonstrated a remarkable aptitude for recording equipment operation and soon caught the attention of superiors, with innovative approaches to solving technical challenges. His burgeoning career as an audio engineer took him to various radio stations across England, including Radio Luxembourg and the BBC. He honed his skills behind the mixing desk, learning the intricacies of sound production and mastering the art of capturing the essence of live performances on tape. In the late 50s, his entrepreneurial spirit led him to establish his own studio in North London. Dubbed RGM Sound, the studio became a creative haven where he could indulge his passion for experimentation and push the boundaries of traditional recording techniques. One of his most notable achievements came in 1962 with the release of Telstar by the Tornadoes. Inspired by the launch of Telstar Communications satellite, the instrumental track featured pioneering use of electronic effects and futuristic soundscapes. It soared to the top of the charts on both sides of the Atlantic, cementing Meek's reputation as a trailblazing producer. His collaboration with artists like the Honeycombs, John Layton, and Heinz Burt yielded a string of hits that captivated audiences and influenced generations of musicians to come. 304 Holloway Road. 304 Holloway Road holds a significant place in music history as the site of Joe Meek's pioneering record studio, RGM Sound. Nestled above a small shop in North London, this unassuming building became the epicenter of a musical revolution in the early 60s. It was within these walls that Meek, armed with a visionary spirit and penchant for experimentation, crafted some of the era's most iconic hits. His studio was more than a recording space, it was a laboratory of sound, where he pushed the boundaries of traditional production techniques and unleashed his creative genius. Equipped with rudimentary recording equipment and a motley crew of musicians, Meek transformed the space into a hotbed of innovation, producing a string of chart-topping hits that captured the imagination of audiences worldwide. As the 60s progressed, his fame continued to ascend, and 304 Holloway Road became a magnet for aspiring musicians and industry insiders alike. Beyond his studio endeavors, Meek's larger-than-life personality and eccentric reputation made him a fixture in London's vibrant party scene. He was known for his flamboyant fashion sense, his penchant for wild parties, and his magnetic charisma, which drew a legion of admirers wherever he went. His presence at social gatherings and industry events further fueled his burgeoning fame, solidifying his status as a bona fide celebrity in the swinging 60s. The downfall.
He was frightened to face the world after that for quite a long time. He was lucky. He didn't hit the press in a big way. You expected to see Joe Meek arrested in big headlines in the Daily Mirror the next morning.
Amidst the brilliance of Joe's musical innovations lay a complex and tumultuous personal life marked by darker undertones. Meek's fascination with the occult and the supernatural cast a shadow over his otherwise illustrious career, leading him down a path fraught with paranoia, delusions, and addiction. One of the most intriguing facets of his life was his obsession with communicating with the dead. He delved into the world of spiritualism, experimenting with Ouija boards and seances in a quest to bridge the gap between the living and the deceased. Meek's belief in the afterlife was further fueled by his conviction that he could communicate with the late Buddy Holly. Meek claimed Holly visited him in vivid dreams, imparting musical inspiration and guidance from beyond the grave. But his preoccupation with the supernatural took a darker turn when he became convinced that his apartment was being haunted by poltergeists. He reported strange occurrences, which included unexplained noises and objects moving seemingly of their own accord. These experiences exacerbated Meek's already fragile mental state, plunging him into a spiral of paranoia and fear. Compounding his personal struggles was the burden of concealing his homosexuality in a society rife with prejudice and discrimination. Homosexual acts were illegal in the UK until 1967, forcing Meek to navigate a precarious existence fraught with secrecy and shame. The fear of exposure loomed large in Meek's life, adding another layer of complexity to his already tumultuous relationships and exacerbating his struggles with mental health. As Meek grappled with the pressures of his personal and professional life, he turned to drugs as a means of escape. He became a habitual user of amphetamines, seeking solace in the euphoric highs and temporary reprieve from his inner demons. Why Joe Meek took his own life at 37.
I used to go shooting a lot because of the pressure of working, obviously. Gigs. I used to travel. I had a breakdown shotgun.
Joe Meek's death, February 3, 1967, marked the tragic end of a brilliant but troubled life. Faced with mounting personal struggles, including battles with mental illness, addiction, and the societal stigma surrounding his homosexuality, Meek succumbed to despair and took his own life at age 37. He had a shotgun which belonged to the musician Heinz Burt. He took this shotgun and killed his landlady, Violet Shenton, before turning the gun on himself. He believed Violet was listening in on his phone calls, another aspect of his paranoia. Despite the circumstances of his death, Joe Meek's legacy endures as a testament to his pioneering spirit and innovative contributions to the world of music production. His groundbreaking work at 304 Holloway Road laid the groundwork for countless artists and producers who followed in his footsteps, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the recording studio. Meek's distinctive sound and unorthodox approach continued to influence musicians across genres, ensuring that his impact on popular music will be felt for generations to come. Though his life may have been cut short, Joe Meek's legacy shines as a beacon of creativity, perseverance, and the enduring power of artistic vision. Now it's time to hear from you. Are you a fan of Joe Meek? Did you know about his contribution to the British music scene? Let us know in the comments section below.